Hi, it's Janice Dru-Bennett, and today is Sunday, March 7th, 2021. I'd like to share a few highlights from this past week, as well as a book that I recently finished, and two of the Smart Group reports on the Currnt platform. And I'd also like to mention the We at Brown conference that just happened for women's empowerment, and that tomorrow, March 8th, is International Women's Day. So there will be a few sites that I'd like to share around that. To start, as you can see, I have a birthday cake behind me, and this is to celebrate the birthday on March 4th of my 10-year-old son, as well as my sister. So thank you for everyone who celebrated with us, and it was a very special moment to see the growth of my child, and other birthdays have been celebrated throughout the years. And so I think growth is a theme that I really think works well for this time that we're in. And the book that I recently finished, Conflicts Without Casualties, is one that I had picked up at the Association of Talent Development event conference back in 2018 when we were having conferences in person with many people. And I think this is a really great book to read during this time when we might be struggling with conflicts at home or at work. And conflicts happen all the time. And I think the theory that this book has around a healthy compassion cycle and healthy conflict versus being stuck in a drama role is really a valuable insight that I've gathered. And so three of the drama roles that we often see at work or at home are the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. And we can get stuck in these roles, according to this book, versus finding this compassion cycle of being open, resourceful, persistent, and then open again. And I'm going to change my background to show this example of conflict. And this might be a conflict with casualty, or perhaps they're persisting and practicing at what they need to do to be in conflict. And as a great example in this book, I think is one way to handle an employee that might be coming to you complaining about another employee. And this is an example where you enter at open, saying, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation because I want to be helpful and support you in feeling confident. And then the second step in moving toward being resourceful, and the only way forward is forward, the book says an example of moving forward is saying, I'm willing to support you in problem solving how to get what you want. And then continuing to move toward persistence. The only way to move forward is forward. So saying, I'm not willing to criticize our colleagues or continue to hear you complain about your situation and put yourself down. And this is putting boundaries around your relationship as well. And then ending with saying, I care about you. And this is not necessarily the end. The conversation can keep going, but moving forward with openness and showing how you feel is really an important way to start and an important way to continue. So I feel like I can continue to go back to this book for reference in both personal and work relationships on how to deal with conflict. To move on to a little bit more of a peaceful scene, I will share my screen and discuss these reports that I mentioned were published last week on the Currnt platform. So Enabling Growth with Sustainability and Philanthropy currently is talking about what the current ecosystem looks like for sustainability and philanthropy, and we'll publish this report next week. This last report that came out was on the insights around what measuring goals for good means. What metrics should be established for global entities, nation states, local municipalities, companies, for-profit organizations, not-for-profit organizations? Should metrics include slowing down climate change, reducing crime and homelessness, healthcare and happiness, and to what number and what percentage by what date? To measure environmental and social performance, it's important to understand whether we're on track to meet long-term goals and evaluate the effectiveness of policies and interventions in place. Valuable metrics should be reliable and cost-effective, and it's crucial to have access to public reporting. There is a website here, iisd.org, focus areas that you can check out, and talks about transparency and the human component are important value measures. Other actions to measure include transitioning from shareholder value proposition to social value, building consensus on metrics, and factoring ethics in technology development and deployment. From the individual to the government, we must evaluate what situations and what solutions we can apply as individuals and globally, privately and publicly across all business services, technologies, and use cases. So one key point is slowing climate change across multiple dimensions, and how it's extremely important that every entity, whether small or large, private or governmental, national or local, measures climate actions, green energy across fleets, facilities, job creation, and more. Local municipalities and nonprofit organizations could focus more on reducing homelessness and violent crimes in the areas that are hit badly by the crisis. And there's a lot that can be done to support citizens during this pandemic. Finally, factoring social impact in all of our economic decisions. And each person should think about a plan and how to take individual responsibility for our personal impact, whether it's societal, economic, or environmental. Any action we take may have effects, whether they're large or small. The other SMART group that I facilitate, the Global Work from Home Experience, Trends, Tools, and Best Practices, is currently talking about limiting, well, actually the next topic may be limiting paranoia among work from home employees. The current one is talking about how organizations plan hybrid, remote, and in-office positions, and talking about the different strategies that might be determined based on department or seniority. The latest SMART group report on the global work from home experience, which was also around 2 weeks of discussion, talked about what is the future of work after COVID, what trends can we expect, what will be the social impact and skill recognition in the future. And as we think about these issues, the COVID-19 global health crisis did come to the world as a blow and has left many businesses struggling, and we're experiencing dramatic shifts in global work. Rapid response to crisis and reimagining the purpose of offices are playing a central role in keeping the workforce engaged, productive, and resilient. We need to reflect, recommit, re-engage, rethink, and reboot. More AI-powered technologies, recruiter bots, and ABIs are used to assess candidates. And over time, with improvements to algorithms, this might result in a more balanced, diverse, and efficient workforce. Some roles are shifting toward administering IT systems and we're moving to remote access and internet connectivity versus office spaces and positions that require higher touch to support customers and clients. Most employees, managers, and C-levels are becoming used to our new remote and hybrid reality. However, the work from anywhere has also become working more, and people have to learn how to better balance their work-life experience. So the first point on vacancy during and after COVID-19 talks about how office space is in large supply right now. And as hybrid and work from anywhere work styles become the norm, the supply of vacant office space will continue to grow. Repurposing will be critical in the future. Maintaining collaboration and staying in sync and being connected. In our shift to virtual, we've missed out on collaborating and spreading ideas organically. And so we need to hone our skills to allow us to stay in sync with others and ensure that we're connected as people. The hybrid work will also require empathy and social skills. So working partly together and partly from home puts a strain on working relationships, and the absence of nonverbal communication can lead to increased misunderstandings, hence the need for conflict without casualties. We need more empathy and social skills. Speaking of the need to address our extra work and the challenges we're facing, the We at Brown Women's Empowerment Conference talked about our resilience. And it was really great conversations that panelists talked about, and speakers and entrepreneurs, even a workout session, just really thinking about some of the challenges that we faced and that we're facing as women in the workforce and as entrepreneurs or as leaders at different organizations. And really, I think hearing the ideas that some of the students have and the new solutions to problems that different people are bringing to the table, I think that there is a brighter future that we see ahead, and really want to work together at creating this better world together. And thinking about the UN Sustainable Development Goals and reducing inequalities and gender equality as being core themes right now. The International Women's Day is tomorrow, celebrated by the United Nations. and across the world. The United Nations Woman is celebrating the day with an event and multiple speakers. This is free, open to the public. And so I will post these links as well after I put this on YouTube. The Wind Power Summit Club is also having a Clubhouse discussion from 12 to 6 p.m. on the Clubhouse app. And I have a handful of invites. So again, feel free to message me if you would like an invite to Clubhouse. And right now it is only available if you have an iPhone or an iPad that you're able to connect your phone number to so that you can use the app. The United States Energy Association is also doing an event tomorrow promoting women in energy, which I think is a key topic right now, as well as we think about the climate. I'd also like to mention the Voices of Women Worldwide group by Venanti. And there are multiple videos and regular posts in this network giving voice to voiceless women, young girls, boys and men on female empowerment. I'd like to also mention that there is a section for women on the INCY website with resources, and we continue to celebrate women entrepreneurs. So I'd like to end with this beautiful picture behind me celebrating women, and hope that others can join in celebrating International Women's Day tomorrow, March 8th.